paint and stain sprayer. Maybe you have a big project like outside, like a deck or a bedroom. Whatever you're gonna do, you're going to love this item because it is on a huge sale price. Usually, and very popular at $130.95. Could not believe $89.95. And I said, why are we doing such a great deal on this? The answer is we don't have a lot of them. So this is gonna be quick. I know I have under 500 for everybody in the country. 485 left now because we promoted at the beginning of the show and you're already shopping for them. So we have Lou Caputo live in the studio, although he's not in the same room as me, but you are a guest that I actually have seen in person, but we're not at a bar having beer. We are actually on TV together.
Yeah, this feels weird. I don't know.
Feels weird, feels strange. I know, right?
Well, now, if you get the Wagner, this is something that's gonna give you more time to do fun things like that.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm all in, I'm all in.
Well, because it works so fast. You know, the Wagner spray painters, they are the #1 company in the world for making consumer spray painters. This will make your jobs go faster. You're gonna use less paint with these, and they're gonna dry quicker. Let me do a real quick demonstration right here, okay? So I'm gonna paint this door, and I want you to see how fast it's gonna go. It's paint on demand, so as soon as I pull this trigger, the paint's gonna start to come out, okay? So watch this. Just like that, Helen. Wow. I've got the pink, yeah, I mean, it goes really, really fast. You couldn't do this with a brush and roller this fast. There's just absolutely no way. And the nice thing about this, as I mentioned, is this is gonna dry so much faster than if I used a brush or a roller. I mean, it does really, really good job, goes really quick, and it's a very even coat of paint. And just like that, we're done the entire door. Now, ordinarily, if I were doing this, Helen, I'd still be out here getting all these little details in here and, you know, all the little nooks and crannies. With the Wagner, it happens that fast. You want to see something else?
Yeah.
I got more. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Let's come over to this chair. Now, for a lot of people, wicker, and, you know, this is the kind of thing that every year you got to paint that furniture outside. You got to do it, okay? And this is the kind of thing where if you wanted to upcycle it, you might pass it by because it's just a lot of work, okay? Watch this with the Wagner. Look at all the little grooves in here. Again, nooks and crannies. Watch how quickly I can paint this. Look at that. And it goes on, Helen, it just goes on so easy. It's so fast. It's very neat to do too. That's the other thing. Very nice and neat job here. Notice I'm not getting any paint on myself here. Let me get this edge. Want to make sure I do a good job for everybody at home. Right here. Boom. Done. You ever paint wicker that fast?
That is pretty, you know what this reminds me of, Lou? It reminds me of putting on makeup. You know, you can take makeup and there's different ways to do it, but the fancy makeup artists have that airbrush that and your face looks like flawless and it takes 2 seconds. This is like, that's what it reminds me of. I mean, I could not believe how fast you painted that door.
Isn't it crazy?
It's absolutely so. When you fill up the tank, I read in my notes 125 square feet in one fill. So tell me about that. Then you just like fill it up again, or what are how do you use it?
Well, so the cup underneath here, the paint cup actually unscrews off the bottom. Okay. So you just fill that with paint, you screw this back in. I'm not gonna do it right now because this one's full. But when you have to clean this, it breaks down to 5 pieces. It takes 5 minutes to do. You just use warm soap and water. I mean, it's crazy. I have painted 3 different decks this summer. I didn't want to, but I had to. I painted 3 different decks this summer, and if it wasn't for the Wagner, there's no way I could have done it. Let's do this one. This is a nightmare outdoor project, okay? A wood fence. When you put up a new wood fence, if it's bare wood like this, it's like a sponge. Anything I put on there, it's going to soak it up. Now, with my Wagner, I can use all kinds of paints, latex paints, I can do stains, I can do chalk paints, milk paints, anything I want. Watch how quickly I can stain this fence. And by the way, everything I'm using is undiluted. So I'm not having to add water to the stain or the paint, you know, so that it'll work with the sprayer. This is powerful enough that I can go in there full strength, do 1 coat on here, just like that. Look at this, we're almost done. Boom. The entire fence is done, stained the way I would want it to be, and I can do my entire yard. You know what, if you paint a room with this, when you start on that first wall, by the time you get around to the 4th wall in the room, the first wall's already dry. That's crazy how fast this works.
It is, and you know, I'm like mesmerized how neat it is and how you're not making a huge mess. And I think about painting projects as being, and I know you put down like a, you know, like some tarp or something. You put in, you have to prep before you paint. I understand that, but honestly, you're not getting it all over your hands and your hair, on your face and your shirt, and you know, it's not. You're dressed up for TV, and it's just you pour it in, you push the button, and then that's it. I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
Lou, when I can I use the same one for, this may be a dumb question, for different colors? I mean, can I just wash it out and use it for a different color?
I have done that many. In fact, all the ones I'm using here have probably been used for other things before.
Okay.
You don't throw this away. You wash this part, the paint cup, out, and you can put as many different colors in there as you want. Now, here's the other thing we haven't talked about yet. Real quick, this is fully customizable, okay? And what I mean by that is there are dials on here that will control how much paint is coming out. If I want to throw a lot of paint on something or a lot of stain, I can do that. If I want to change how wide or how narrow the paint spray is, especially if you're up close to a wall, you probably want to do that. I can do that by rotating this. There's even a dial on the top here that controls whether you're going vertical or horizontal just by rotating it like that. Very simple to do. So it is highly customizable, and that's why you can use it for so many things. Like for instance, my nemesis right here, another deck, okay? Now, you gotta paint, I'm gonna paint the railings and I'm gonna paint the floor, but watch how fast I can do this. I'm gonna start right here, and you're gonna see as I go down here, and notice every time I pull the trigger, paint's coming out, okay? When I let go, it stops just like that. Now I'm gonna change the orientation, boom, just like that, and now we're gonna go this way. And I can go horizontal now. And look how easy this is to do, and it does such a good job going back and forth here. When I painted my decks, no one could believe how little paint I actually wound up using in the end. I wound up with some left over, and I was worried. I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to go back to a hardware store. No, sir. It is faster, you use less product to do the jobs, and as I said again and again, it's gonna dry quicker. So you're gonna be able to complete more tasks faster when you use your Wagner. And by the way, I know I'm not supposed to talk about the price, but the price is just crazy today. It
really is. It's like, how can you not mention the fact that it's like, I mean, and you know, when we've had this Wagner here at HSN for years. I mean, I remember when we first launched it. I will say that this is the best price I have ever seen, and I've done many presentations, and this is something that you will be glad. This is the one your neighbors are gonna borrow, your mother-in-law is gonna borrow, your sister, your brother-in-law is gonna say, hey, can I borrow your, you know, and this really is a great thing to, you know, someone in the family buys one and then everybody shares it, because I learned that you can just rinse this out and then, you know, different colors and everything. Lou, can I do oil-based paint, like if I'm doing a bathroom, or is it only water-based, and what kind of paints can I use? Water-based,
oil-based, latex paints, stains, milk paint, chalk paints. Speaking of which, for the crafters out there, okay? I'm gonna show you how you can upcycle something like this flower pot right here, okay? If you're a crafter, when Kelly saw this, my wife Kelly, she's a crafter, she fell in love with this. Oh, that was interesting. It went 2 different colors. All right, here we go. Look at that. Boom, that quickly we are done with that, Helen, and that just took a couple seconds to do. So if you're trying to upcycle furniture, if you're somebody out there that likes to do crafts, this is gonna be for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching it, and it's so quick, it's so fast, it's so easy, and I can see having so much fun with it. I mean, I've bought furniture at a Salvation Army and then like reupholstered it and stained it, and I think it took me probably 6 months. It was just, you know, painstaking work to like stain something. This is like really, really amazing. I mean, it does take a long time to get the old stuff off, by the way. That's not what this does. But I mean, again, $89.95. Now, I started out with about 485. So we didn't have a lot to start with. So we have 394. That's all we have for everyone in the country. And this is the time kind of to get those projects done before the snow comes. You probably don't want to do any of those outdoor projects. And I'll say, sometimes we do our indoor projects outdoors because we'll take things outdoors so that we paint with them, right, Lou?
Absolutely. Real quick, I'm going to show you how you can change the paint on this. I'm going to change the entire nozzle on this, what we call the iSpray nozzle. I'm going to put that one on there. See how it just snapped on there? Now, real quick, we're going to paint louvers. Again, this is another nightmare job, Helen, but when you got your Wagner, watch how quickly I can go down this, and it's getting up underneath the louvers. Ordinarily, this is a job you do with a roller, with a brush. One spot up here I missed. Done.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I was gonna say, ordinarily that's a job I do with my credit card where I hire somebody to do it.
There you go. You keep that in your pocket.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you imagine an entire painting job for that price, $89.95, Lou? So great to have you here. I know you're gonna be next to me for our other items that we have together.
I will.
I will see you soon.
Okay.
All right, keep shopping. We see the countdown going down. I do want to mention Steal the Deal, which is right in front of